Today is my birthday. It is October 21st. It is very early in the morning, and I am officially 21 years old. And I know I don't look like it, but I am. So I figured, why not review one of, if not the greatest film to ever be produced that inspires me every single day on my birthday. Psycho.
Good afternoon. Here we have a quiet little motel, tucked away off the main highway, and as you see, perfectly harmless looking, when in fact, it has now become known as the scene of the crime.
Released in 1960, directed by the classic and amazing Alfred Hitchcock, one of my favorite actors. I love like 87% of his movies, and people all around the world all say North by Northwest is my favorite. No Vertigo, no Rear Window, The Birds. I mean, the man has classic after classic. But in my opinion, the one, the only, the one that tops it off, no question whatsoever, is this film. It is the movie I can truly say that inspired me to make and write movies. Jurassic Park might be and is my favorite movie of all time, but that movie is just, it's childhood mixed with just how great it is. It's just the perfect movie for me. Psycho, though, this movie is the movie that after I watched it for the first time, I was just glued into making stories, how the camera moved. This is the movie that made me want to be a director, to be honest. Like, this movie inspires me so much. And thanks to my great regal friends, I did get to see Psycho on the big screen. It is amazing. If movie theaters ever come back one day, which they're unfortunately closed again, go and watch Psycho. It is the last movie I saw in theaters, and possibly could be the last one I ever seen in theaters. But either way, Psycho is and truly is a classic horror film. This film stars Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, and Janet Leigh, and is about a Phoenix secretary embezzles $40,000 from her employer's client, goes on the run, and checks into a remote motel run by a young man under the domination of his mother. Where to begin with Psycho? I mean, if you're a fan of film, then you need to watch Psycho. It is a perfect movie in my opinion. Perfect movie. I love every frame, I love every shot, I love every sound design, music cues, acting, facial movements. I have seen the movie over 60 times in my life, and it truly, every time I watch it, it just, inspiration just sputters up inside of me. And watching it in theaters last week gave me chills. Like, it really just made me sit there and think, I am watching one of the greatest films ever to be made. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock, do I really gotta get into it? I mean, the man was nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards for this movie, and he was a freak about this movie. He got the rights from the book, and he said, I want the books to be non-sold anymore. I want no one to know the famous twist of the ending of Psycho. I want people, when they come to the movie theater, they have to show up on time, or you can't come into the movie theater, because he did not want anyone to know the ending of Psycho. He wanted this thing to be made into a film right away, and he did everything he can to get Universal to be like, hey, give me some money, and I want to go make this movie, and I want to get Janet Leigh, who at the time was a mega star. I mean, like, a mega star. She is the poster woman. She is the main actress, pretty much. But guess what? Spoiler alerts. She gets killed 40 minutes into the movie, and that is just, I love that. I absolutely love that. I love how she was nominated for an Oscar. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I knew Alfred Hitchcock got nominated for Best Director. I knew he got nominated for cinematography and stuff. I did not know she got nominated for supporting actress. And honestly, I mean, she's really good. She's amazing. I mean, she's amazing in the movie. But I didn't know that was Oscar worthy. But that's nothing near her there. But she is amazing. And like I said, Alfred Hitchcock's direction. Guys, I mean, There are so many shots I could talk about that are truly one of my favorites. I'll say this, one of the most underrated shots in this movie is the shots of the house when we first get to Bates Motel and the stormy, dark nights and seeing the mother, the mom as we call her, or the mother as we call her, walking across from the window, and it's very spooky night. It's one of my favorite shots because it's a spooky shot, and it's like amazing, and I love it. And getting to meet Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates, he is so good in this movie. Now, he is like a theater actor, and he came doing this movie, and he blew everyone away. He has the innocence of a young man who you kind of want to give a hug to. You feel kind of bad for because his mom yells at him and just treats him like shit. The scene between Janet Leigh and Anthony Perkins when they're in Bates Motel and they have a full conversation about his mother and putting her in institute, it's one of, if not my favorite dialogue scene. It's just one of those scenes. It's very eerie. It's something is up. You know something's up because he's got the sense. Anthony Perkins does an amazing job with performance. He gives you the ability to like him. Maybe he's a young man who's just being treated very bad by his like sick old mother. But guess what? He's got a little bit of psycho in him. When she's like, why don't you put him in institute? He's like, put her in there? Oh, she would never survive. I mean, why would I put her in there? She's my mother. Like, he's so defensive, and that is the greatness of his performance. And then, literally, the next scene, we get to see him go through a peephole looking at her getting in the shower. So you know he's got some sexual tension between this girl. He likes her a lot. Then, of course, the shower scene. Most famous scene in film history by one man, Bernard Herrmann, who did the score for this movie, and it's up there with Jaws. I mean, when you take a shower and it's like Halloween night or something, it's like spooky in your house, you can't tell me you don't think of Bernard Herrmann's score. It is amazing. It is perfect. I love the scene, of course. It's shot with like 78 different shots. It took them like an entire week to film this scene. And of course, Janet Leigh didn't want to show any of her cleavage and nudity and stuff. And he filmed in a very quick matter to show basically nothing, but show her get brutally murdered by Mother in the shower. It's the shower scene. It's amazing. It is the most famous scene in the entire movie. It's one of the most famous scenes in film history. It's perfect. I love that scene. Now, I'm actually not going to get into the ending of the movie Psycho, which is actually kind of crazy. I know I kind of spoiled, like, the best part of the movie, I guess you can say. It was the first half of the movie. But once the shower scene is over, the movie is a great just mystery. We get to learn about Mother. We get to learn more backstory on Norman Bates. And we get to see the relationship between Norman Bates and his mother. And of course, the ending happens. And the famous twist, which when I first saw the movie, I had no idea. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, so that means that. And then of course we get the famous scene at the very end with the therapist explaining everything. I mean, the man literally explains everything. And I know a lot of people say, like, it's basically for the audience. And you're totally right. But you gotta think about this. In 1960, we as people weren't more influential in film like this. So, in 1960, they really needed the guy to explain to everyone, hey, this means this, that person is that person, this person might be the same person, but Mother and Norman Bates, their relationship is very special. I will give Psycho, of course, an A+. It's really just perfect timing for this movie because I saw it in theaters. It's my birthday. It's one of, if not my favorite film of all time. One of my favorite directors. I mean, it just this, in the horror month and with Psycho, I had to review this movie on my birthday. I've been playing it all month long. I was gonna get this video done today. So speaking of that, this weekend might be a little slow with the reviews because I'm 21 and my birthday's on a Wednesday. So of course this weekend I'm going to do exactly what you're thinking I'm doing. So if I don't get a lot of reviews out this week, next week I promise to be right back on schedule with a lot more videos. I love you guys and I will see you guys on the next scary review.
Well, the murderer, you see, crept in here very slowly. Of course, the shower was on, there was no sound, and